Hello everybody, it's Joe Thomas here, the Liverpool Echo's Everton FC correspondent here at a much quieter Molineux after the scenes that unfolded earlier on this afternoon. How do you make sense of that? To be perfectly honest, I've got no idea. We're not going to know. We're not going to have any idea really until after Leeds played and obviously Leicester on Monday night, but what we can certainly say is that's a valuable late goal from Yerry Mina there. Where it came from, I'm not sure. This was a patched up Everton side from the start. Obviously the loss of Vitaly Mykolenko, the loss of Ben Godfrey, even though he's barely played, Ruben Vinagre, left so few options available that you had Dwight McNeil, Everton's most effective creative player of recent weeks, having a villain at left back, and it sparked a whir of consequential changes everywhere else. Alex Iwobi at left midfield, James Garner on the right, and things only really got worse from there. Everton actually started quite brightly and they were probably the better side going to the half an hour, and then things started to change. Everton's wretched luck with injuries just continued. Nathan Patterson, he's already had 3 big injuries for Everton already in his career so far. He's only been here about 18 months. And unfortunately, he came off again, hamstring issue, hopefully not serious, that's going to be assessed. Then you end up with Michael Keane, a centre-back, playing at right-back. So you've got both full-backs, players playing out of position. That obviously caused a few problems, albeit it was a counter-attack from which Wolves got their goal from. Hwang eventually finishing off after Traore had done so well to break through Everton's, let's be honest, soft midfield. How he got to the point where he could get from his own box to the Everton box and force Pickford into a save, I don't know. That was a goal that was so disappointing to concede. It had shades of goals at Villa Park, goals at Anfield this season, where Everton's soft underbelly's just been too easy to penetrate, and just, I know you can't really say it, I know it's unpalatable, I know it's cynical, I know it's snide, but sometimes, and there were several opportunities today on Traore, sometimes you've just got to risk the booking, take a player out in the middle of the park and stop the potential for a chance to become a golden opportunity. Everton didn't do that once again, and they paid the price. Mid the injuries, Dominic Calvert-Lewin then comes off. He's got hamstring issues going to be assessed. It's not the groin that nearly kept him out today. This is a hamstring issue, and he's already had hamstring issues this season, but hopefully he's going to be okay for next week. But for that second half, for 53 minutes, remember, this was a 54-minute second half with the 9 minutes of stoppage time. I'll be perfectly honest, Everton didn't really look like scoring. And it was a Wolves side that is largely on the beach. I mean, as the players were coming off, they were serenaded. It's the last opportunity to see the home fans, and they were treated like that. Every player who came off was getting an applause that was basically to send them on their way for their summer. It was a party atmosphere in the home end up until that 54th minute of the second half, and you got the 3 centre-backs combining. Nothing can be more symbolic of Everton's problems than the fact that you have Michael Keane, and we know he's a good finisher, we know he scored and played a role in some massive goals for Everton over his career, but he's obviously not a striker. In a situation where he is spearheading the attack of a side that spent £500 million on transfers over 7 years and is fighting for its Premier League for survival, well, that just says it all. But he was crucial, as was James Tarkowski. Tarkowski wins his header at the back post, Keane somehow squares it, Mina finishes it in. The man that was the last outfield fit player for Sean Dyche to show any faith in and to give any minutes. Ever since he was put into this side a couple of weeks ago, he has repaid Dyche again and again and again, and no more so than today. It was a goal obviously set the away end off into scenes of jubilation. It stunned the home crowd into silence, and obviously it's a point. It's not ideal. Everton's fate may not be in its own control come the end of this weekend, but there's more chance of it being in Everton's own control than it was with 98 minutes on the clock here, and Everton have to take a little bit of pride from that resilience that they've shown, and just hope that other teams, David Moyes for instance, does the business for West Ham against Leeds tomorrow, and that somehow Everton get to Bournemouth still outside the bottom 3. If that can be the case, they'll be favoured to stay up. It's going to be a long, anxious, tense, certainly 24 hours, probably 48 hours until Leicester play. And obviously one thing that we do know is this is going to go down to the final game of the season, so get ready for a really, really difficult week, I'm sorry to say. But things could be worse. Everton, despite all the injuries, despite the bad luck with that, and despite having been pretty poor for large chunks of this game, they still found a way to get back into it, and that can provide a little bit of momentum. Just imagine being a Leeds fan or a Leeds player or a Leicester fan or a Leicester player, just seeing that last minute goal, watching the video printer and seeing 99 Yerry Mina coming up. That would have hurt, and that's perhaps where the advantage lay in Everton playing first this weekend. So fingers crossed. Obviously it's going to be a big week now, a tense week, an anxious week, but Everton still have a chance, and there's still a chance they could go into that final game of the season with their fate in their own control. If they can do that, then fingers crossed they'll be okay. Difficult game to try and work out where we come from and the conclusions. Can we come away from here happy? No, and I'm not saying that for 1 second. It's still a very difficult situation for Everton to be in, but we can certainly come away from here happier than we could have if the final whistle had gone after 98 minutes. Thanks very much.